The question of Joe Biden's mental fitness was raised last night in the interview, and the president's answer, I thought, was somewhat revealing. Here it is, soundbite 4.
Some people ask whether you are fit for the job. And when you hear that, I wonder what you think.
Watch me. I mean, honest to God, that's all I think. Watch me. If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity, then that's one thing. It's another thing of just watch and keep my schedule, do what I'm doing.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself my own head the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before.
Oh my God, Victor. What? I don't even I no more think of myself as being old as I am than fly. My mental focus is focused. Just watch me. Well, we are.
Yeah, the Romans had a phrase, the thing speaks for itself, and that's what it does. I mean, he's trying to explain that he's cognitively sharp, and he can't explain why he's cognitively sharp. So we know that. So we have watched him. He dared us to watch him. We've watched him. We know that he is not cognitively sharp. But in his defense, Megyn, he was always erratic. And before he had this problem with age, there's two things going on. One is age. But this myth of Joe Biden is this on top of things, nice guy, competent, going all the way back to his plagiarism problems, his lies about law school, his really venomous attack on Robert Bork and Clarence Thomas, his all of these stories, about put you in chains, corn pop sagas, you ain't black, Barack Obama is the first clean, articulate African-American. He's got a bad history even when he was not non-compos mentis. So it's very strange. We all have this image that sad Joe Biden is not Joe Biden from Scranton, the good, lovable guy that was going to unite us. But that was a complete myth that was fabricated. And he was always a hard, very, I think, very rude, tough, mean SOB.
Well, that's the irony of Scott Pelley. He led him down a path of, Washington wasn't always like this. It used to be, you hate the message, not the man. I can't remember how Pelley put it. And Joe Biden's like, right. So he didn't ask him about the Dark Brandon speech, in front of the red lights and the towers. He didn't follow up by saying, just a couple weeks ago, you basically said half the country is awful, nor any of those comments that you make, right? He gave him a pass on the fact that President Unity has been disparaging literally half the country since he took the oath of office and before.
He has. And I think what Scott Pelley and the left really mean is that in the old days, when John McCain ran and they said he couldn't remember how many houses he had, or he had an affair with this woman, or when Mitt Romney ran and they said he put a dog on the top of his car, or he's going to put you all in chains. That was a very accomplished group of professional African Americans he was talking to in a very condescending fashion, or his wife was an equestrian, or he had an elevator. They just did that. And the Republicans played by the Marquess of Queensberry rules. They said, you know what, we're never going to win like George H.W. Bush did in 1988 under Lee Atwater. We just don't do that anymore. No more Willie Horton, no more Boston Harbor, no more tank commercial. We're going to play by the Marquess of Queensberry. And they lost 6 out of the 7 popular votes. So now I think the Republicans are starting to push back, and all of a sudden, this is not fair. There used to be a good old time in politics when everybody was friendly. No, it was basically the left had a blank check and nobody replied. And Trump came along, for good or evil. He brought in a bare knuckles, we're going to reply tit for tat. And suddenly it's, wow, what happened to America? Well, what happened to America is somebody emulated the tactics that they had used.
One of our sponsors today is Donors Trust, the principled, tax-friendly way to simplify your charitable giving. Cancel culture does not just affect comedians and commentators anymore. It also affects everyday, hardworking Americans. How so? It derails their charitable giving. Take Jeannie's story, for example. Jeannie did her charitable giving through one of the big national donor-advised fund providers. That is, until, without a clear reason, it refused to send her charitable donation to a conservative nonprofit. This is happening more and more. She shares her story this way. I'm a conservative. I believe America is great despite her imperfections and that capitalism brings great good to society rather than government, she said. Earlier this year, I requested another gift from my donor-advised fund, and it was rejected. Jeannie wanted a donor-advised fund that shares her conservative principles, and she found it in Donors Trust, the oldest and largest donor-advised fund committed to limited government, personal responsibility, and free enterprise. Do you want a principled partner helping you support causes close to your heart? If so, consider opening a donor-advised fund with Donors Trust. For more information on how Donors Trust can help you with your charitable giving, visit www.donorstrust, D-O-N-O-R-S, trust.org/MK to receive a free copy of their donor prospectus. That's donorstrust.org/MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.